Alright, so this is a quick devlog over the hospital level in ENVISION. Hasn't been finished yet, but it is the main level that you will be starting at during the beginning of the game. And so, yeah, that is the beginning of the level, and I'll be showing it at some point. And yeah, there's not really much to it. There will be some voice acting and a whole bunch of other stuff. I actually got that to work and everything. But there will be some voice acting and a whole bunch of other stuff. And yeah, at the moment there's really not much else. And as of September 3rd, 2025, it's going pretty smooth. I mean, there's not a whole lot in it, but I feel like it's going a lot more smoother. There's a lot more detail in levels than there is, than I used to make. Um, but now there's a whole bunch of shit. And yeah, I don't really have much to say because I don't want to nothing. I don't want to say anything about the game because I don't want to spoil it. I also just don't want to abruptly leak the game, even though it's not even finished in development. Um, we've made a couple levels so far, which is actually impressive for me because I've only really ever focused on two levels. That was the Chapter 1 and Chapter 0 of Galactic Originals when that was the main project back then. But yeah, I've been working on multiple maps. If I go on to my documentary, not my documentary, my documents folder, go into my Unreal project, go to Envision Beta, go to Content, and then if I go to Maps, there is a whole bunch of stuff. So you have the hospital section that is, in the game, and you have Envision Playgrounds 1 through 6, but 5 isn't on there, and there's like two different versions of 6, because actually there's a couple of versions. There's regular Envision Playground 6, there's the Dark Abyss one, which is lore related, and there's the nighttime one, and there's the menu one, which is what the menu actually runs off of. And yeah, Envision 6, that is pretty much the last version of inv underscored playgrounds as of right now. Um, every time that the Envision Playgrounds gets updated, there's always a newer version that comes with the game. So the version of the game right now is 0.6, and the release, well, not really release, but the making of Envision Playground 6 was uh, September 1st. So 2 days ago is when 6 was made. And the other ones, like 1 through 4, or I'm sorry, 1 through 5, those ones are not really lost to media, or lost media. Because it's Envision 5 is on, not Envision 5, Playgrounds 5 is on a different Unreal Engine Envision game beta, because Envision game was actually made on Unreal Engine 5.6, and there is a lot of issues with Unreal Engine 5.6. Don't get me wrong, I like 5.6, it's pretty good, but the one I'm sticking to is 5.5 because that is really the only one I can actually trust at the moment. Um, and you have all that stuff right there. The one I'm really just focusing on is the Envision Hospital Section 1. I will say, though, that there is a path similar to Galactic Originals Chapter 1 that was supposed to release earlier this year but never did. That project is technically canceled because we're not really working on it anymore. yeah, it's technically lost media, or not really lost media, but it's a project that is not being worked on right now. Envision is, and there seems to be a lot of stuff with Envision. Um, and Playground 6 is massive compared to all the other ones. So I think it was Playgrounds 3 or Playgrounds 2. I should really know this because I made it. Playgrounds 3 or Playgrounds 2 that extended the area of the whole map. Playgrounds 4 uh, had the ability for you to go to the the Sandlands, which as of right now the Sandlands isn't looking too good. So we're probably not going to be doing Sandlands. Oh shit. But most likely we're moving on to more story driven uh maps that we're making right now. There's really only two, which is Playground 6 Dark Abyss and the Hospital Section 01. So there will be more hospital sections, but the first hospital section that you enter when the game first opens up is what we're working on. Um, Obviously, when I look back on this in the near future, there's a lot of stuff that will be done. But as of right now, hospital section is the only thing that is, uh, you know, that we're actually working on because it is the start of the actual main game. Um, we did have plans for you to just start out in Playground 6, which is literally what you do. But in the main game, um, well, as of right now, in the main menu or whatever you want to call it, you can choose between Playground 6, Playground's Nighttime, and the what the fuck is it called? The test map. Oh, that test map is also probably going to be integrated as a story one, and I can't believe I'm saying this. I got the idea from somebody else, but the name of the map is called Pee Pee Poo Poo for some reason. I made it at 12 in the morning. I didn't know what I was thinking. So that was also story driven as well, somewhat, because you have to break out of somewhere. But I honestly don't know if that will be added as a story, a part of the story, I meant to say. But, yeah. Envision is going good so far. Like I said, it's at 0.6. Um, when the game first releases, it should be at like version 1 point something, or just release 1.0 or something like that. But as of right now, it is the development phase of 0.6, which the game was first worked on, I think, June or July. I think it might be actually August. So let me check this because I can check the properties. So it was created Tuesday, August 5th, last modified August 30th, and accessed, which is literally yesterday. So I can see when I last accessed it and when I created it. So it's been over about a month, and I will say a good bit has changed in just 1 month or a month and a half, um, or whatever you want to call it. I can't really think right now because I'm fucking tired. Um, but yeah, it's almost been a month since we first worked on Envision, which is really weird. It's very weird to think about that it's already been almost a month. In 2 days, which was Friday, it would be a month since we first worked on the Envision game. And that was August 5th. So right after I came from vacation, well, came home to vacation, I think Galactic Originals 2, like the canceled projects, Galactic Originals 1 and 2 were made also in August. I think it was August 16th of 2023. Those were made back then. Um, the early versions were weird. I think it sort of, as the map was sort of completed, like the chapter 1 or chapter 0 map was supposed to be two chapters split into one, just one big map, but it didn't work out because of performance issues. Because if you put in a perspective of how big the map is, the game would not run smooth whatsoever. whatsoever. So yeah, and that is what 3 years of not 3 years, 2 years of just me putting random shit into that level, and which is nice because I get to go back and see all the shit that I made, but it's really not. It really didn't work out for Galactic Originals, and that's why that project, even though it was supposed to release April, like it was officially supposed to release April 11th, 2025, it never did. Um, so yeah, that was a problem on my end, but I also am very bad with deadlines. And when I looked at the game one final time, I was not happy with it. And I will keep this quote in mind, um, as this is a little, basically a developer log or whatever, just like a talk about everything. I was not happy with the state of Chapter 1. I was definitely not happy with it. So that is why Galactic Originals was most likely put on a heavy hold, basically a cancellation, and that is why Envision is being made, because I feel like Envision should be able to set the foundation that Galactic Originals will run off of. So, that way makes more sense, because I have plans to make more Galactic Originals games. Um, that's if they're even successful and people like it, and if the sequels do pretty good, then I'll reconsider on making Galactic Originals and all that again. But most likely, I'm focusing on Envision because to me, Envision is a smaller project, even though it is technically a huge project for me because I'm actually putting in a lot of effort to this, like voice acting and a whole bunch of other shit. Which Galactic Originals technically had voice acting, but it was just me messing around because, you know, at the time I really didn't know what genre. Like I said comedy slash horror, but I would say right now Envision's somewhat of a psychological, um, which is not new by any means. Games have done that so many times. Um, but there's a reason why you end up in a hospital at the first game, and I'm not going to say any reason because it is in the lore of the game that you have to figure it out, and it's not going to be brought directly towards you. You have to figure that out because I like games where you don't uh, have the story brought to you. You have to go to the story itself. You can't just expect the story to just come to you because you want it to. Just like with Valve games, show don't tell. They do an amazing job of it. They don't tell the story, they show it. They expect people to compile everything together. That is the key reason why games are so popular, is because of, you know, concepts like that. And that is definitely what Envision will be using. Is show don't tell. There might be some sections where it'll tell you something, but that will be most likely when you have a clear idea of the whole entire game. that is enough for me rambling. That was 15 minutes. Last time I checked, it was 1 minute, so I don't even know how the hell it's already at 15 minutes. But okay. Um, yeah, enough of me rambling. There will be more of the developer logs or whatever. I'll definitely show some stuff off when the hospital level is nearly completion, or I will show um, some early versions of it and all that. I just don't want to show too much. Even though all this will be unlisted, um, I'm still trying to decide. Maybe I'll show all of it because this is all going to be unlisted anyways until the game releases, because, you know, these aren't just going to go out to the public. The game will be released first because I'm going to say whatever in these videos. And the problem is if I were to release these, people would expect some things I would be saying in here. But what you should expect it, but I could change my mind at any time. You know, I wouldn't be able to remember. I would be changing it or something like that, because, you know, there's a lot of things that go behind the development and the story driven aspects of making this game, or making any game really. But I'm out. I don't know why I'm out so quick, but I'm out. I gotta do some few things, and I will get finished up on that level. Bye.